It's the new Wabu Order Podcast. We talk to build our culture up, we getting all that. We speak well to eat well, we giving them all facts. So like, share, subscribe if you know that you pro-black. Let's grow.
We are back. Welcome to the new Wabu Order Podcast. I go by the name of Wabu. Today, I got a special guest with me, Christian Kirchman, head coach of William Fleming High School basketball team, right?
Yes, sir.
He's definitely traveled the world, and he's a former star at Patrick Henry High School, and currently, from what we know, the youngest head coach ever to be a head coach of William Fleming High School. Maybe in this whole area. Maybe in the whole area, the whole Southwest Virginia area.
Could be. We'll have to check on that for sure, but
yeah,
could be, possibly.
You like the Dookie Howser of the basketball thing. But what's going on, good brother?
Not much, man. Appreciate you for having me on here.
Oh yeah, it's been a long time coming. I know things, people busy, life be lifing.
Always.
So he was supposed to been on this joint. Behind the scenes, we was talking about a few things, and you were telling me about at one point you possibly was gonna go overseas.
Mm-hmm.
What was up with that?
So yeah, when once I was done playing in college, I had a few contract offers, two mainly that I think were definitely legit. Offered to play in the Czech Republic, and then to play in Germany.
And what college that was again? I'm sorry.
I went to Johnson C. Smith University in Charlotte, so CIAA.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Smith. Shout out to the football team. They 6-0 right now. I think #1 team and ranked in the CIAA. So shout out to the football team, doing great things right now.
And it's like with that, it's kind of harder to go to the league.
Oh, definitely. Being it because it's Division II school, so it's a little harder, but it's possible. Like I tell people, it's really, and that's what I want the kids to kind of understand. It's not about where you go; it's about what you do where you go.
Now, I think the city is kind of happy to have you as the head coach for Fleming.
Mm-hmm.
How did that start? Like, what was the whole thing? Since you played the PH at Patrick Henry, and you worked at PH as the assistant coach. When they called you for the job for the head coach of William Fleming basketball, how did that feel? Like, take me back to that time when that happened.
So it definitely felt great. It was kind of surreal, but so like I said, I've been working at Fleming for the past 3 years. This is my 3rd year going on.
Mm-hmm.
I've been assistant coach at Patrick Henry for the past 6. So the year that we made it to the state championship when I was at Patrick Henry was my first year working at Fleming. So I had already been, in the building, know the students, know the staff. I've been around, even though I was leaving, of course, at the end of the day, going over there to PH to coach those guys.
Mm-hmm.
But then it just so happened to be, honestly, Coach Hardy retired, and I took a chance. The opportunity presented itself.
Somebody told you, like, yo, he getting ready to retire?
No, I found out when they announced it. And don't get me wrong, me and Coach Hardy, we would talk a lot. Like I said, I've been working at Fleming. So me and him would talk a lot, through passing and in the hallways and just have great conversation. But I never knew if he was retiring or not. So I found out just like everybody else. And then when I found out, that's when I went ahead and put my name in the hat. And then I also told Coach Ezra that I was going to go for it as well, the head coach at Patrick Henry, because, that's what life is all about, man. If an opportunity presents itself, you gotta try to go get it. And I took a leap of faith. I went out there and tried to grab it, and look what God did. So I'm just ecstatic, man. Like, I'm really happy. I'm proud. Fleming has a great family environment. It's very family oriented. I got roots from Fleming anyway. My sister played basketball for Fleming back at we used to say the old Fleming, when it was
like a campus.
Yeah, campus style. When the gym would be rocking, man, the windows would be sweating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I was a part of those environments and things like that. But when I went in, when they called me in for the interview, And then when I found out that I got the job, man, I'm gonna be honest, I went in my office, I shedded a few tears, you know, tears of joy.
Yeah.
Tears of joy,
Yeah.
you know, that, you know, thank you, God. You know, when preparation meets opportunity, great things can happen. And for these past 6 or 7 years, I wouldn't necessarily say I was like pressed or just starving to be a head coach, but I knew if the opportunity presented itself that I would be ready. Because I was preparing for it by learning through being an assistant.
Was you scared of
on what it would take?
Was you scared of like your age? Was
Definitely.
you scared they was gonna shun you? Like
Definitely. You know
he's
that
not old enough.
Definitely. You know, because you know some people for me though, maturity doesn't have an age.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Leadership doesn't have an age. So because you know I'm pretty sure y'all know, like I know, we got 50, 60-year-olds that still think like 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
You got 40-year-olds that still think like 12-year-olds that still move like kids.
That's
so
a fact.
That I thought about that. I thought they were gonna think about that, but I knew if I had an interview, that my age wouldn't come into question with my abilities and my resume and what I'm gonna have on paper and when I conversate. I knew that that wouldn't be a worry.
And I think that's dope because like the kids could see and they could really relate to it. Like versus somebody like 60 years old being a coach. And we don't even know if you played basketball.
Yeah,
like,
we don't even know if you can still play.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it good too, because the kids know, I get out here and dog y'all right now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So everything that I'm teaching,
Yeah.
I can do, or I've done, or I can show you it. You know what I mean? I'm not just telling you, I'm showing you. So yeah, it's great, man. It's a great feeling. Great feeling.
And the whole sports thing, right? And I'm happy to have you on here because I like to give a different perspective. Like, if you're going to play in sports, it ain't just that. You could get into sports medicine. Because you got to think, there's how many NBA players? Like 450 or something like that? So the chances is highly slim
to none. You got to use sports as the vehicle.
Yes.
That's the vehicle for the game of life. You know what I mean? Whether it's basketball, football, baseball, the things that you learn, the intangible things that you learn through the game, you got to carry it over to your life. You know what I mean? Because one day the ball gonna start bouncing, but when you go through sports, it teaches you sacrifice. It teaches you discipline. It teaches you how to respond to adversity. You know what I mean? So you carry those lessons with you along whatever chapter you in. Your sports chapter gonna end one day, but then when you become a father, you know what I mean? When you got a family, things like that, you'll kind of be more accustomed and ready for those things.
And like for kids to know that it's cool. Like, yo, if I didn't make it, I got this. I got this degree out of it. I got this. I got to travel the world. I got to see this. I got to see that. And what you probably wouldn't have seen, like maybe on your own or whatever. Because at one point, I used to be like, even on here on this podcast, I was totally against sports. Because most of the kids, most of the young people, that's all they... I'm like, come on, Slim, you ain't even really that good.
Yeah, when you ask them what they want to do, that's
all
almost
of them said basketball, football. Or they gonna rap. I'm like, you ain't lyrically inclined. Your shit is trash.
Yeah.
You don't know how to jump.
Yeah.
You can't run.
Like,
you could. There's things in those positions that you could learn and feed yourself and feed your family with. Try to learn that. Like if music, you could be a producer or engineer or something like that. Sports, you could get into sports medicine and stuff like that.
Even commentating, sports commentary. You could be a commentator. You could be the videographer. You know what I mean?
Agent.
An agent. You just link them. It's ways that we could go about it. But I also think us as a community and we got to open those doors for these kids. You know, and give them those resources and things to think outside of the box rather than just basketball, football, or music. And that's why I like my good brother Antonio Stovall. I love what he's doing, man, because he's opening up the community and our young kids. You know what I mean? He's opening up their eyes to that. You know what I mean? I love everything Stovall stands for, man. He's a really good dude.
He's gonna be on this podcast. Again, he's been on here multiple times, and like Antonio, I just say, like, I think one day he's just gonna transfer into like energy or some
Nah,
something
for
like
real,
that.
man. Hey, I'm telling you, man.
He ain't even gonna have a human frame no more, man. Shout out to my boy.
Nah,
Antonio,
shout out to
man.
Stovall, man. He
Man,
real
we
good
be
dude.
having some amazing, like we build on the phone and face to face all the time, and the conversations be amazing. I be like, damn, this shit might be even too powerful for the internet. Like,
Nah,
we be
because he
going
bringing a
crazy
whole
with it.
different element, like the mindfulness and everything.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? I really pay attention to what he's teaching and what he's talking about, man. He's a real good dude.
Yeah,
You know, he works at
definitely.
Fleming as well, so we chop it
Yes.
up all the time, man. He come
Yes,
holler at me.
yes.
We, like you say, great conversations.
Yeah.
Great high-level conversations.
Yeah. I think they doing something kind of dope over there at Fleming with like bringing younger people to the building for these kids. Because like I said, the kids ain't listen to no 60-year-old, 70, 80-year-old person. So they bring in younger people there. And the kids could be like, damn, he know what I could, you know what I mean? He's closer to my age.
Yep.
And even I know them, they bad as shit.
Yeah.
The kids like, nah, I already know, like they going crazy, but they might listen more to someone they can relate to a little bit more.
Definitely.
Close in age.
That pays huge dividends. Also being when you from where they're from. You know what I mean? So they see me at the store. They may see me at the park. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They see me at the grocery store. Some of them may come at their uncle's house or something. They see, oh, they go, Coach, right? What you doing, Coach, or something? You know what I mean? Like, nah, what you doing? You ain't know I was. You know what I mean? So I think that plays a huge part in just knowing that, and representation matters, bro.
Yeah, just basically being more visible.
Visible, like
You
more
know what I
present.
mean?
You could touch. You know what I mean? You got access to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think that plays a really big part in it. And understanding that I come from where you come from, and you can be successful as well. You know what I mean? It's just all up to you. It's all up to your choices, the choices you make.
Yeah. Earlier when we was talking, you was we were talking about the first place I seen you was on your podcast. And you have a sports podcast. You took a little break from it.
Yeah, I took a little break from it.
What did you learn from podcasting as far as with sports, or if you learned anything?
The podcast space, one thing I will say is, well, I already knew anything worthwhile takes hard work. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say I learned that. I just learned how much goes into even making one show. You know what I mean? When you want it to look how you want it to look. Because, you know, you got a podcast, you got a vision.
Yeah.
So you got a vision on how you want it to look. And sometimes that vision may not come out, or that video may not come out matched up to your vision. So I think that's the main thing that I learned, is finding ways to make sure you got the right people around you and the right equipment to make it the vision that you wanted for yourself. You know what I mean? That's
a hard question. I just asked. Like,
yeah.
What have you
good,
learned
though.
from the podcast?
Yeah, it's all good.
But
that's definitely be at the top of the list. Just making sure you got the right people
and are you gonna get back into podcasting?
So
like a sports podcast.
I've been thinking about it, man. If I were to get back in one, I would start a coach's podcast.
Hold on. Don't get a sauce on that.
Yeah.
Because like nah, these dudes be biting.
Yeah,
like
they do
Dracula.
be biting. You right.
Yeah,
You right.
you
And so let
can't
me not talk too much.
Yeah.
If so, I would take a different route. But right now I'm just strictly focused on William Fleming basketball team, getting them better, growing them as young men and as basketball players. But definitely, eventually, definitely, I can see myself getting back in the podcast space for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
And we were talking about a young brother behind the scenes, and you kind of molded him into the player he is today. He's doing some dope things with the basketball thing. Do you see any players at Fleming like on his caliber? What's the brother name again?
Abu Yarma.
Yeah,
Abu Yarma, great player, man.
Shout out to Abu.
Just committed to High Point University, right here from Roanoke, Virginia. Great kid. He's gonna do great things, man. We may see him playing on the big screen one day, hopefully.
Yeah.
So great kid. But as far as now, I don't really see any players to that caliber. but the young core, in a few years, yes, we can build them up. As of right now, I wouldn't just, because to get to where Wabu is, it takes a lot of work. So I don't want to just say that like it's just easy or like, you know what I mean, just anybody can do it, because it takes a lot of work, man. It's a lot that goes into it. And Wabu put in a lot of hours and sacrificed a lot, you know what I mean? So, but we got some players. Let me just say that.
You know what's...
We got some players. I'm not going to give it too much, but maybe not to that level. They can be.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I can't just jump and give them that.
Like I said, I was totally against sports, and now I'm starting to come around about it. I'm seeing like the football team, Fleming's football team, is actually bringing the city together. You get what I'm saying? That's amazing.
Beautiful to see.
Because, you know, people of our hue hate each other. So, like, for a sport to bring, I don't care what brings us together, as long as something
bring us together. Yeah.
And I see that football really, really doing that. Like, they went out there and represented that Bird.
Yep.
Bird particularly, they didn't like, you know, people that look like us. So, damn, my stomach growling. But yeah, they ain't like people that look like us. But I think that's dope that what the football team is doing over there at Fleming.
Now they doing.
Hopefully we get that basketball team there, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. That's the goal.
There.
That's the goal. We're gonna put the work in, man.
The girls' basketball is looking good too over there.
Yeah,
right?
Good. Real good. Girls' basketball been on the up and up. Coach Wilson doing a great job with them. Like I say, man.
Coach Bishop's over there.
Yep, that's my cousin.
Shout out to Coach.
Shout out to Coach Bishop. That's family right there. Like I say, man, Fleming doing a great job in getting the right people in the building and the right people around these kids to really get the best out of them. You know, so it's a beautiful thing to see. I think every sport at Fleming will be excelling. For sure, here, like I say, from now on up.
Yeah, that's how it is. It should be. It should be. That's how it should be, man. What you got going on other than the sports, man?
That's other
than fatherhood? You spoke on that a little earlier.
That's a good question. Well, really, other than the sports and working, so I'm also a special education teacher at Fleming. So I write individual educational plans.
Oh, word?
Yeah. So I work with the kids with disabilities, and I write their plans. You know, the general curriculum, though, not like adaptive or severe disabilities, but just, you know, general disabilities. So I write their plans, and I work with those kids at Fleming. And then besides that, fatherhood, that's what you touched on.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not teaching and coaching, I'm being a father, man.
And you married.
And a husband. I'm being a father and a husband. Man. Yeah, so
So you just threw yourself off the market and said, yo, I'm gonna get married while young.
Well, speaking of my wife, that's my high school sweetheart. Okay. So we got together our last year in high school, senior year in high school, and she just rolled with me through everything, through my ups, through my downs. She was with me when I was going through my stuff in college. She just always been by my side, man, never left my side. She seen me in every season, in my losing season, in my winning season, in my in-between season.
Y'all went to the same college too?
Nah, we went to the same high school.
Oh, high school.
But we went to different colleges. She went to Radford, I went to Johnson C. Smith. But she was there supporting me every step of the way.
Oh, that's dope.
And then that's when she got pregnant my senior year at Smith. And then we still, you know, you go through your growing pains and stuff, growing and doing all of that. And then this past June, we finally decided to go ahead and tie the knot and get married. And it was a no-brainer, man. You know, I'm young, don't get me wrong, but my coach, I'm gonna tell this story right here on how I go. I'm gonna give you a story. I was getting recruited after my senior year of high school. I went to junior college.
Yeah.
So I'm getting recruited from Johnson C. Smith. I was getting recruited from about 11, 12 schools, a lot of schools. But this Johnson C. Smith, they were coming to the game that day on a Saturday. So they come, we play or whatever. My wife is there. We play or whatever. My now wife, she's my girlfriend there. We playing or whatever. After the game, I go get dressed, whatever. So I come out to talk to the coach. Coach Cheryl, shout out Coach Cheryl. I talked to Coach Cheryl. First thing he asked when I go say, what's up, coach? You know what I mean? First thing he say is that your girlfriend? Cause she, you know, she like behind me a little bit. So I'm confused, you know, I'm like.
You thought he was starving or something,
I'm like,
right?
what? Like, what's going on? So I'm like, yeah, that's my girl. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on? So then he like, man, you got a wife right there. And you know, I'm 18, 19 years old at the time. So I'm kind of like, I give him a weird face, you know what I mean? Like, what you mean? That's my wife. You know what I mean? Like, I got a wife right there. So he said, and it's a testament to her character. He said, after the game, I seen people cleaning up, they getting up the chairs and all of that for y'all game. He said, you got men, other people in here, all these people in here watching them. Your wife was the only one went over there and helped them put up the chairs. He said, that's a testament to who she is, and you got a wife right there. So now,
she was the one definitely with that.
10 years later, she my wife. We joked about it, and that's crazy because I actually committed to Johnson C. Smith, and that's where I played. So we joked about that when I got married. He called me and said, I told you had a wife, didn't I? I said, yeah, you was right, coach.
Being so young, I wanted to ask you, where did you get that from? Because a lot of us, unfortunately, don't get married young, or sometimes don't get married at all. And we didn't see examples.
I didn't see it. So I grew up in a single mother household. It was my mother and my grandmother who raised me. So my father wasn't in my household. So I didn't
shout out to all
see
the single mothers.
Definitely shout out to the single mothers. Shout out to the grandmothers.
Yeah, grandma hold it down.
Yeah,
though.
grandma hold it down. Grandma instilled a lot of the things that I got in me. You know what I mean? Rest in peace, God rest her soul. But she instilled a lot of the things that I got in me. You know what I mean? And it like you said, I didn't see it. So that was part of my development and my growing as in the early stages, and even sometimes in the early here recently, like with my wife, just learning how to love, how to show that love, and how to be understanding and how to meet that person in the middle. Because like you just touched on, I didn't see it. Yeah. Didn't nobody teach me that, so I've been going through learning it, and just you know, it's really who I am. You know, I've always been the type guy, you got to play the cards you dealt.
Yes, sir.
So God dealt me a great woman at an early age. Yeah. But I know if I see it with somebody else, I'm going to be looking down. I know I can't find that no more.
Yeah, down the line, right?
Down the line, I know I can't find that no more. You know what I mean? I'm not going to be able to find another her. So even though God gave me her early, I'm still appreciative and I'm thankful. So I just go through every day, you know, trying to be the best version of myself, man. And I've never been a follower. I've always been a leader. I always do what I want to do. I don't do what the crowd doing. I don't do what people may think is cool. I do
because I was gonna ask you that. Like, say your friends, right? They like, man, nah, you too young.
Yeah.
Like, how you do that, man? You too young, brother.
But now catch this. But now they saying they trying to find a wife.
Yeah.
So now you get what I'm saying when I'm talking about being a leader. Now I'm setting the path.
It's a cool thing to be married. Like,
definitely.
But for you to do it so young, I think it's even cooler. Like, you could now, like the young kids that you mentor or whatever, they could see that. They could say, Mr. Kirchman, he's married. Like,
and 2 kids now too. It's another thing. We got 2 kids, and we had bought a house. You know what I mean? We living together, so it's like we already. Yeah. What we waiting on? You know what I mean? What we waiting on? So and you know that. So shout out to my wife for sure, Claire, man. I love her dearly.
I admire that about you, like your mind and how you thinking at a young age. Cause I know when I was your age, I wasn't, you know what I mean, thinking like that. You know, I was probably thinking like a kid, just to keep it real. But that's dope that you have that mind frame to take it to where you took it to. And like you said, you probably had that good backing behind you with your coach, what he has said, and just sports.
And and I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I'm glad you touched on that, because when you talked about like how did I get that, really that's just who I am. Because like I said, I've always been my own person. But honestly, my coaches played a big part in that. Yeah. And making me a man. You know what I mean? Like a father. Like even my AAU coach from Coach Howard. He instilled certain things in me, like certain things, like something as small as when you talking to somebody, look them in their eyes.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? Like he taught me certain things that, of course, I still was young and doing my thing. But when I got to college,
the young kids don't know about that.
They don't know about certain things like that. You know what I mean? So, and then when I got to college, My college coaches, Coach Sherrill, who recruited me, Coach Mark Sherrill, and then Coach Joyner, the head coach. They taught me, they gave me so many life lessons, man, on how to be a man, how to deal with adversity. Coach Joyner specifically taught me how to control my emotions. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't perfect. You know what I mean? I had a little attitude. If you ask anybody, I played with that chip, with that anger, because people always like, he too small.
Is that not having your dad?
And not having my dad, so I was angry. So I see other people, they can go throw the football with their daddy, or their daddy coming hollering at them after the game. You know what I mean? I didn't have that, so after a game, I'm looking, you know, my mama, she did what she did. She did what she could, you know, and I'm very grateful for that, because I had love, I had support. Yeah, we struggle financially, but that's expected when you're coming from a single parent household.
But that's so important,
you know
like just for the men. I mean, even if you and a woman don't make it, if y'all break up or whatever, please stay in your children's lives to the best of your ability, because with that, like he said, he played with a chip, and just think about, but he was able to overcome that. Think about all of the probably millions of kids who wasn't able to overcome that, and they make bad decisions and stuff simply because they don't have their dad in their life.
Yeah, they don't have that discipline.
But I see it getting better.
Oh, for sure.
Because like growing up, when I grew up, I think I had like one friend that had their father in their life. And he wasn't even from our culture. You get what I'm saying? So I had one friend that had his father in his life. Everybody else, it was the norm. Nobody had their father in their life.
It's normal.
But now, all of my friends are in their kids' lives.
In their kids' life. That's how it is even with my age group. Like, anybody I hang around or that I'm close with, they all great fathers. You know what I mean? They're in their kids' life. So I think this, like my generation specifically, I think because of so many of us grew up without a father, that we don't want our kids to have that same feeling or have that same experience. So we really take initiative to, you know, go above and beyond to be there for them.
Exactly. Behind the scenes, we was also, before we wrap up, we was talking about the brother Bryce.
Yeah.
Right?
It's my brother. Yeah, it's my brother right there.
He got the sneakers. He got clogs now.
Yeah, I got the clogs on right now.
Yeah, he got all type of shit.
Yeah,
he got the basketball sneakers. He got the light up sneakers.
Yeah,
he got all type of.
Yeah, Bryce always been a sneakerhead. If anybody who know Bryce been a sneakerhead since we was kids, man. Always been a sneakerhead.
Bryce, you playing around? We gotta get you back on this joint. And I still need my sneakers, size 11.5. I still need my sneakers though, man. But so you and him, y'all had y'all did the podcast together or something?
No, so
he was just on it.
Nah, he was just on it. That was on me. He was just on it.
Okay. But y'all got other dealings together.
Yeah, we did. So we did the BP3, the Be Passionate, Be Purposeful, Be Persistent. That brand. We were training. We were training together, and then we started that sports brand together. Like I say, BP3, Be Passionate, Be Purposeful, Be Persistent.
And what that consisted of?
It was really a lifestyle. So the brand was like a lifestyle, but we would have sweatsuits, shirts, we got shorts, we dropped some socks. And when we first started, we were doing like camps and things like that. You know what I mean? Like it was like a lifestyle in the brand. We both trained, we both loved basketball, we both trained. So we was that was our training brand, BP3. You know what I mean? So it's a lifestyle, and that's in anything. Anything you do, passion, purpose, persistence. You know what I mean?
You got to swing some of that over here, man.
Most definitely.
We put it on the screen and all that.
Yeah, most definitely,
you do it right. And if you are a business owner in anything, if you have a service, a product or something, just contact us over here at New Wabu Order Podcast, and we could work something out, and we could do some advertising and marketing for you guys. But like I said, man, before you leave, just give your shout outs and everything.
Oh yeah. I'm gonna definitely give a shout out to my wife again. Love you dearly. My kids, Bryce, Tez, Shay, Wu B. Y'all know what's going on, man. And last but not least, William Fleming boys basketball team. Love y'all. Ready to get to work this year. Let's have a great season.
Oh man, you know where you heard it first. New Wabu Order Podcast. Remember that the fight is fixed, and if you speak well, you eat well. Let's grow.
It's the New Wabu Order Podcast. We talk to build our culture up. We get into all that. We speak well to eat well, we giving them all facts. So like, share, subscribe if you know that you pro-black. Let's grow.